All right, Corey, first Bellator fight week. How does it feel to be here? Is it any different? You went through the motions so many times with the UFC. Is it weird doing something different in your fight week?
It actually feels kind of relieving for me, no pressure, no tension, none of that extra, you got to sell tickets, you got to get the fans on your side, all that extra stuff. There's no fans here. I go out there and win, I move forward, so there's no extra baggage to carry to the cage.
Yeah, and I know everybody's probably focused on the fact that this is your first fight with Bellator, but you went through a lot in between the last time we saw you fight with your health issues and stuff. So is there a sense of accomplishment just being here, or a newfound appreciation for being able to get back in the cage?
There's definitely a newfound appreciation. You realize the value of life when you go through stuff like that. You sit in the hospital. One, you don't know if your heart might stop. You don't know if you're going to fight again. You don't know if you're going to see your family in the morning. So you sit there and you think deep. It's kind of like, is this really worth it? And then when you realize it is, it's kind of like, we got to make it really worth it. We're going to continue to do this. We got to find value in ourselves, and you pay attention to the little things in life and appreciate things more.
Yeah, and I know we talked to you right after you signed with Bellator, but now that you've gone through a training camp and you're here for fight week, do you feel like, it's definitely sunk in that you made the right call?
Yes, 100%. And, dealing with the people, the contract alone, how comfortable I feel with the people, meeting everybody, interactions with the different people, it just feels so much better than at UFC where you feel like a number.
Yeah, and your last fight was against Jan Blachowicz, who has now since become the champion in the UFC. Does that make that loss sting a little less, or is it still a loss is a loss? And
a loss is a loss. It's going to sting regardless, but It makes you know, like, you still are one of the best in the world. You're 1-1 with the champ. The one that they say is the best in the world right now, you're 1-1 with him. So how can you really feel bad about that?
Yeah, and when you were signed with Bellator, Scott Coker did an interview with us, and he said, he felt like what you just said, you're 1-1 against the champ. He felt like Bellator has maybe the best 205-pound division in the world. So where do you sit on that? Do you feel like, having just been in the UFC and now coming here, when you look at the challenges that are there, how do they compare?
There's challenging 205ers in both divisions. There's challenging 205ers in one in other organizations. It's just, you got to have those two people matched up against each other to actually see it. And now we have me, who is ranked number 4 in UFC, coming over here to Bellator and get to fight, and you get to see that these guys can compete with us. Or I go out there and just walk over them, and it's like, okay, maybe they aren't that good, either way. But we won't know until I fight like Nemkov and Phil Davis, the Oda Machida, the people that are known as the top here. Melvin Manhoef is definitely a very tough guy, but he's not one of the top guys they call in Bellator. He's not fighting for the title anytime soon,
Yeah. So did you like the pairing? Do you feel like this is a good first fight to get your feet wet, or would you have preferred they gave you one of those guys you just named?
I just wanted to fight, It didn't matter if it was a young guy, an old guy, or the champ. Any challenge is a challenge, because coming off a loss, it's all about mental. What's your mentality like when you come back in? Are you going to be able to stay composed? Can you put that loss behind you and do what you do? So I'm just excited to get in there Saturday and see.
Yeah, and talk to me about the matchup itself. He's you're the favorite coming into this, but do you feel like he's pretty dangerous? He obviously hits pretty hard, and can you just break down the matchup for me a little bit?
100%. Everybody is dangerous, They always say every fighter has a puncher's chance, but when you think about Melvin Manhoef, he has a lot of puncher's chance. It's his thing. He got 39 knockouts and 42 wins. So you gotta put that in perspective and know he's very dangerous. If I make a mistake, end up inside range, it only takes one to put you away. So
yeah. And do you feel like with a win here, do you think that the title shot will come right away? I know they've talked about maybe Nemkov fighting once more before you. So where do you think you fit in this division if you go out there and win on Thursday?
I already know I fit in right at the top of the division, but they had to give me a fight first. Like Nemkov said, he didn't think it was fair for me to come in my first fight to get a title fight. I can respect that. What it is what it is. So I got to come here and just put on a dominant performance or beat him in a great fashion. And they really can say, well, he did do this to Manhoef. We can give him another fight, or I feel like with the way he performed there, he can do the same thing to Nemkov, or he can give Nemkov a challenge. So I just feel like I go out there and do my thing and let the cards play themselves out.
And talk to me about the champion in this division, Vadim Nemkov. How impressed were you with his win over Ryan Bader?
I was very impressed with his win over Bader, but I think I was most impressed with his fight against Liam McGeary. Training with Liam in the past, and I know how long he is and how hard it is to get off kicks and get away with it without eating a right hand. And he did it really well. Stayed long, kicked, took him down, and then ended up chopping his leg down until he stopped. I was very sad for my buddy Liam, but at the same time, I was impressed with Nemkov's performance.
When you think about this fight on Thursday and you kind of play it out in your head, is there a specific way you see it going down when you guys get in there?
I mean, I feel like if it's standing, he's got a really good chance to land a shot. You know, as long as I stay long, I can make it hard for him. But if I get him to the ground, I just don't see anybody that can perform me on the ground the way I do. You know, you see, even in the UFC, I lead in takedowns and top control time and stuff like that. And when I get guys down, it's kind of like they're out of their element. Nobody can control or play that control game on the top at 205 like I do.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck on Thursday. Really appreciate the time, Corey, and good luck, man.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.